Right at the top of the hour. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Let's delve into the bulletin. President Yoweri Museveni has taken his war against poverty to Bunyoro's region with the launch of the 4-acre model. Museveni, who keeps intensifying his wealth creation gospel, emphasizes the need for calculated use of land. This he emphasized while launching the 4-acre model of farming at Kikwaya Primary School grounds in Kakumiro district.
Kikwaya Primary School grounds in Kakumiro district was the place to be on Friday afternoon. President Yoweri Museveni arrived to a thunderous and memorable welcome. He was here to launch the 4-acre model as piloted by Minister of State for Transport, Patricia Lukoma.
Pamba negozi takarukoto. Ebicholi emeremeremu. Ebicholi nibigonza itakarukoto. Ebicholi bintu chukuru muno tubyetaga betu nkete zenyankole nibigonzi itakarukoto etaba hano bunyoro mukana muri metaba eyo negonzi itakarukoto ebikoijo nabintu bindi itakarukoto.
His explanation rotated around proper and optimal land use with various farming enterprises.
Na bwekyo tukasomesa abantu ti okulisa n'okulima bine emiringo ebiri. Omuringo gumu nekiturukweto mu Luzungu intensive agriculture. Okora ahafunzire beto kayamu chikoto kandi omulingo gundi ni extensive agriculture. Okulima ningo okora ebitende sente nyingi beto kakora bingi.
Museveni expressed hope in this model as one of the game changers in poverty eradication.
Hati ensobi eri hamuntu itaka rutoito kukora ebirikwetenga okukora hakoto. This is the aho nho kibaro kirikufera nena netano narabo mu Uganda yona tena itarakie nanu kahikaho na nkani kose rugambo okurembeka okose kibaro omukasuma kunubye bigambo binabe ninkozesa.
Earlier, other leaders advanced similar messages to the public.
Abokuba obutunguru nacho kirime ekikuleta sente nyingi. Nja kuwereza video abokuba abantu babe bayizireke barora. Tutandikire ente tutandikire n'ebintu ebindi.
We have like 100 homes per parish every year about enrolling on this program because tumanyire indi Bunyoro hano the average land holding capacity 84 to 5 acres abakusinga okalimu n'abalina 3 acres too baitu around 4.
It is a full-scale war against poverty, and this 4-acre model is one of the weapons.
So we should utilize the smallest piece of land that we have to earn. And that's why the president is insisting on the 4-acre model.
It now remains to be seen how far locals will go in embracing this model. I'm Nafka Farida and Henry Krut.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has described the Minister of State for Works and Transport, Patricia Lukoma, as a quick learner who, in the shortest period of time, has managed to put into practice his 4-acre model wealth creation gospel. Mr. Museveni was Friday on a tour of Minister Patricia Lukoma's farm in Kikwaya, Kakumiro district.
This farm, located in Chisala village, Chikwaya sub-county, Kakumiro district, belongs to a one Mr. Fred Byamukama, Minister of State for Works and Transport. Majoring in coffee and banana growing, this is an extension of his Kamanyire 4-acre demonstration farm. Byamukama, Friday 15th November 2024, hosted President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to launch the 4-acre model campaign for Greater Kibale sub-region. The launch of the 4-acre model for Greater Kibale districts, and that at Kamanyire 4-acre demonstration farm, Byamukama welcomed the president amidst the afternoon downpour. It is Kakumiro, the host, Kagadi, Kibale, trying to move with us towards the freedom fighter then took time to feed the cattle at this farm. You can listen in here, the minister trying to explain to him what exactly the process looks like. President Museveni, in company of Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, ministers and local leaders, had a guided tour around this farm.
Father brought him to me. He was like, and then when he came, so I'm now a new leader, what? I said, if you want to be a new leader, you go and learn my... So he went to Son. So he learned all this from Son. He didn't know. I didn't know. But the problem is that people don't listen. Wasting time. It's not good.
Kamanyire 4-acre demonstration farm is as a result of President Museveni's welfare creation lectures to Mr. Fred Byamukama.
We are saying you can have small land, then later you expand and get big land. So here we have about 40 acres of coffee. We bought here, you can see this is the adjacent land, and when we bought here we have been planting coffee. And the 40 acres we have also started harvesting. So you can start from zero, you go up. And the message I'm giving to the community, when you're a leader, may do this to lead by example. When you show people what to do, it will be easy to lead them because they are happy. What makes people difficult to lead when they don't have money? But when they are earning their money, they can't even stress you. For example, the function we have had, I've got 21 cows free of charge.
After the tour, several cabinet ministers such as Matia Kasaija, Pacis Namuganza, Jennifer Namuyango, Godfrey Kabyanga, Frank Tumwebaze, among others, were impressed by Byamukama's work.
I have come to this area again. I see that really, I think people have been taking the president's message seriously. And I think it's high time that we wake up as leaders. That's why I'm so impressed by my colleague, Honorable Byamukama, because by doing this, it means that leaders, we are neither supposed to remain behind, or we are supposed to move together in this program of creating wealth for the nation, to enjoy ourselves and to prosper.
I've been impressed that the way Honorable Fred has sustained and even sustained and extended what the late Kamanyire was doing. Kamanyire was not a very educated man in schools, but he was a very shrewd businessman and a very hard-working man.
Indeed, the ministers testify that this is the trend which everybody must embrace.
I want to appreciate him. He has put up a learning center where people come and learn. But he has done extensive farming where he has the coffee here, over 20 acres of coffee. It is something that the rest of us as leaders must copy.
The problem people have, they come now like at my 4-acre model farm, they see poultry, piggery, they see artisanal grazing cows. Now someone goes home to dream to start at once. You start with one enterprise like pineapple.
The president later on joined the public gathering which had gathered at Chikwaya Primary School playgrounds. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you once again, Robert Nyango. Now, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among has expressed the need for dialogue and cooperation between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, to resolve the conflict in that country. While speaking to a delegation of members of Parliament in her boardroom at Parliament, Among pledged Parliament of Uganda's unwavering support towards ending the conflict in DRC.
A delegation of members of parliament from the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has paid a courtesy call to the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. The leader of delegation, Honorable Lambert Mende Omalanga, appreciated Uganda's efforts and support in fighting groups that have caused instability in his country.
Madam Speaker, we recognize the contribution of the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, UPDF, in partnership with the Armed Force of DRC, in dismantling several ADF sanctuaries in North Kivu during Operation Suja. We affirm that the ADF criminals who pose a threat to both Uganda and DRC must be eradicated rather than merely displaced within the Congolese territory. Additionally, the recent arrest in a Ugandan refugee camp of recruiters from the M23 and the AFC underscores Uganda's credibility as a partner in addressing the Eastern DRC crisis. We appreciate Ugandan efforts and urge the imposition of strengthened sanctions on these criminals.
He said they seek Uganda's perspective the DRC can take to ensure peace and stability. DRC members of parliament also propose finalizing a bilateral framework between the DRC and Uganda.
We propose formalizing a bilateral consultation framework between the DRC and Uganda, composed primarily of elected representatives from the border provinces. This body will evaluate and monitor mutual commitments every 6 months.
The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, said during an engagement with her DRC counterpart in Accra, they discussed how Africa's problems should be resolved locally.
An MOU of a relationship between the members of parliament of Congo within Eastern Congo and Ituri Forest, and then the members of Uganda from the same who are neighboring those. It is you who are the elected members of parliament.
C'est vous qui êtes les élus du Parlement.
And we, the elected members of parliament.
Et nous, les élus du Parlement.
To be able to speak to our locals, to make them understand that peace is a very vital aspect in life.
She expressed the need for both parliaments to strengthen their relationships and enact policies that can enhance bilateral trade ties.
How best we can have the policies that can enhance the trade ties between the two countries. And of course, for you to do that, you should be able to have free movement of people. And the free movement of people can only come out once you have the peace.
Among used this opportunity to extend her invitation to her DRC counterpart to come and engage with her and the President of the Republic of Uganda on how to end the conflict in the DRC. I'm Nafka Farid and Gloria Guita Vinci at Parliament.
Now, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honourable Robin Anabanja, represented by Honourable Millie Babalanda, has launched the NRM Manifesto Week at the office of the Prime Minister here in Kampala. The Manifesto Accountability Week, initiated by the Manifesto Implementation Unit, enables Ugandans to get first-hand updates on the progress of the projects designed for them by the government through this manifesto. Crespus Adinitwe has more.
This Manifesto Week is an annual event which is meant to take stock of the cumulative milestones and achievements of the government on the implementation of this social contract made during 2021 electoral campaigns.
A mid-term review of this manifesto was undertaken from March to August 2024, and a report was generated. This mid-term review report was considered and passed by Cabinet on 4th of November 2024. I am happy to inform you that at mid-term, that is after 2 years and a half, the NRM government has been able to achieve 35% of the commitments, while 49% of the commitments are on track to be achieved. In simple terms, if we attain the required resources as planned, government can easily realize an 84% achievement of the manifesto commitments at the end of the implementation period.
Following the launch, the heads of various government ministries, departments and agencies charged with delivering services to Ugandans will, commencing November 19th next week, make live presentations on the progress made in the implementation commitments within their respective MDAs. As of December 2023, Uganda's electricity connectivity for both on-grid and off. This Manifesto Week is an annual event which is meant to take stock of the cumulative milestones and achievements of the government on the implementation of this social contract made during 2021 electoral campaigns.
A mid-term review of this manifesto was undertaken from March to August 2024, and a report was generated. This mid-term review report was considered and passed by Cabinet on 4th of November 2024. I am happy to inform you that at mid-term, that is after 2 years and a half, the NRM government has been able to achieve 35% of the commitments, while 49% of the commitments are on track to be achieved. In simple terms, if we attain the required resources as planned, government can easily realize an 84% achievement of the manifesto commitments at the end of the implementation period.
Following the launch, the heads of various government ministries, departments and agencies charged with delivering services to Ugandans will, commencing November 19th next week, make live presentations on the progress made in the implementation commitments within their respective MDAs. As of December 2023, Uganda's electricity connectivity for both on-grid and off-grid stands at over 60%, with 22% of households having on-grid connections.
Electricity connectivity currently stands at 60% for both on-grid and off-grid connections, with on-grid connections reaching 22% as of December 2023.
Over 2 million households connections have been established, and for the first time, West Nile is connected to the national grid following the commissioning of the Nebi and Arua substations. The country's road network is expanding, with over 6,000 kilometers of roads either under construction, in commercial contracts, or awaiting funding. Notably, 543 kilometers of roads have been completed, while 561 kilometers are ongoing, and 422 kilometers are in signed contracts. Additionally, 28 bridges have been constructed.
In regards to transport infrastructure, a total number of 6,529 kilometers of national road projects have been undertaken.
Internet connectivity has reached over 66% of the country, with prices falling from $205 to $35 for general users and $70 for MDAs.
Out of this manifesto, there were themes, 5 themes, and out of these 5 themes, there were promises or commitments, and these commitments were 809. In other words, these are promises that the party put across to the electorate, and on the basis of these promises, the people gave the party mandate to lead the country. It is a social contract, and when we are reviewing it, we must answer the question, to what extent had the party fulfilled what it promised to the electorate?
Under the YouGift Phase 1 initiative, 102 of 117 targeted seed secondary schools have been constructed, though 100 sub-counties still lack a seed secondary school.
The country is really on the takeoff stage, and this is the time all Ugandans must work together and make sure that we move this country to the next stage.
As the Manifesto Week unfolds, Ugandans will be keen to assess the progress made in these areas. Crispus Adinitwe, Dan Lugemwa, UBC News.
Now, members of parliament on the Forum for Malaria propose that government invests in providing free fansidar for pregnant women across the country to reduce maternal deaths. While addressing the media on the National Children's Malaria Conversation Week, members unanimously agreed that there is need to ring-fence a budget for malaria for the health budget and also allocate more funds towards the fight.
We have here just for some of the ambassadors, but we have 150 plus ambassadors across the country. And the next week, when we shall be, when they will be presenting their petition at Parliament, all of them will be here. But for purposes of today, we requested these ones that are within.
Many children in Uganda, especially those in rural areas who cannot access the vaccines and medicines. I appeal to government to raise more funds to provide more malaria kits to children who are in rural areas so that they can get treatment and go back to school healthy. Because a child cannot go to school when they are sick. And
continue advocating and working with all stakeholders to avail resources. I am glad the members of parliament here have committed prioritization of allocation of resources to the malaria fight. We are going to continue putting in place the needed tools, are working around making sure that commodities are consistently available, accounted for, and are being rightly used. We are trying to make sure that we reduce deaths significantly by equipping our frontline providers. We are making sure that we are using data to monitor the situation all the way up to community level and responding in time. Hence poverty. We shall never develop economically if we don't reduce the burden of malaria. And we need to prioritize the following groups of people: the pregnant women, the children, the visitors that are coming from countries where we don't have malaria, people living with HIV, but everyone is at risk of malaria.
Now, Uganda National Bureau of Statistics, UNBS, Friday launched the African Statistics Week, with this year's focus being education. This year's theme is supporting education by modernizing production of fit-for-purpose statistics.
While Africa celebrates the Africa Statistics Day every 18th November, Uganda will this year have a week-long celebration in recognition of the statistical milestones reached and the achievements thereof. The Africa Statistics Day celebration this year will focus on education.
This time round is on the education sector and how data is critical in generating development and generating policies which are critical for the, enhancing our education sector.
As an information officer or communication officer, don't hide under the table. Because when you hide under the table, there will be so many. Actually, while we are talking of 224, NTV game was talking of 219, I think BBC was talking of 300. So it's up to you to come out in time. But as we continue, I'm going to show you why you think I was the way I was. If you saw me...
Overview to journalists. So I would say a useful approach for journalists is to imagine statistics as if they were sources that are cunningly disguised as numbers. They can give you great stories if you ask the right questions, but equally, they can give you inaccurate stories if you don't particularly ask any questions or interrogate the figures.
Out there need this data, they need the statistics to plan their lives, to make investment decisions. But not everybody can walk to Ministry of Finance to get this information.
The decision to celebrate Africa Statistics Day on 18th November every year was made by the 25th session of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa and the 16th meeting of African ministers responsible for economic planning and development in May 1990. Since then, the day has been celebrated across Africa with varying themes. Mario Nawori for UBC.
Now, in the area of refugee empowerment, stakeholders have been called upon to join initiatives that enable self-reliance of refugees and host communities to reduce reliance on foreign aid. This was during the launch of the assessment brief on the 3-year impact of the DREAM program on livelihood of refugees and host communities of Bidi refugee settlement.
We bring refugees together, we give them the skills, we give them the startup capital to start small businesses, and then we connect those businesses that they have started to the private sector partners.
Delivering Resilient Enterprise and Market Systems, also known as DREAMS, is an innovative program started by Masecoop and Village Enterprise in 2021 to promote self-reliance of refugees and host communities. The program was started as a mitigative measure to reduce reliance on foreign aid, increase household income, and create a wider market linkage for refugees.
We notice that the support that comes in the form of aid is dwindling, and therefore we have to look for innovative ways to be able to support the refugees and hosting communities.
The program was implemented under 2 approaches in the 2 largest refugee settlement camps of Bidi and Rhino, with a target reach of at least 150 refugees in the settlements. The program gives entrepreneur training to refugees, offers them startup capital of up to $200 seed grant per group, and links them to the market.
The overall intention is that refugees are able to manage life on their own. They do not have to depend on food aid. Food aid for years is not sustainable. But if refugees can do something for themselves, if they can produce, if they can sell, if they can engage with the other businesses, then they can be able to build resilient livelihoods for themselves.
The 3-year brief that examined the impact of the program highlighted several limitations like negativity from some beneficiaries, accessibility of land for refugees, and access to financial services due to absence of collateral. Recommendations were also made.
You cannot increase production without access to land. So most refugees are given small plots of land, and they need a lot of big land to scale up. And while the government and the host community wants to offer land, but this land is very far, so they can't easily access it. The other one, of course, is some of the private sector are still reluctant. They see refugee populations as risky to invest because they know that they can go back to their homes anytime.
The program is expected to end in 2025 with the plans of continuation of operations to achieve its set objectives. Susan Naung and Michael Bakabulindi reporting for ABC TV.
Now, on the case of Emyooga, government of Uganda has announced plans to construct the regional exhibition centers across the country that will be dedicated to showcasing and selling products made by beneficiaries of Emyooga program. The announcement was made by Minister of State for Microfinance Haruna Cheyune-Kasolo during the MSC Bazaar exhibition held at Kacheka Stadium in Barara.
In a bid to boost market access and support local producers, government has vowed to build regional exhibition centers across the country. State Minister for Finance and Small Enterprises Haruna Cheyune-Kasolo says they have plans to construct large storage facilities to give access to consistent and reliable market to the Emyooga beneficiaries.
This is tugenda kubateerawo ekifo in the city. Abaluka, abakola engatto, abakola ki, awo nga mubiteekaawo ne tubasasulira ekifo ekyo nga mumutundira ebintu byammwe ne mufuna ssente. We shall do it in Malaria, we shall do it in Kampala and the rest of the regions.
He encouraged them to engage in productive activities, emphasizing that the only way to live a great life is to participate in income-generating activities.
One point, nali ntabusemu omuntu ne ngamba nti oba tukangavule abo abasigadde mu bwavu. Despite all these interventions, osigala otya ng'oli mwavu.
Joseph Tukamushaba, the head of the Emyooga Secretariat at the Microfinance Support Center, stated that they are not only celebrating the efforts of MSC, but also the achievements of the beneficiaries who embrace the message of socio-economic transformation.
It is not only looking at the finances, because as we say, the Emyooga is a skill, but we are looking at how are using the funds, the seed capital, to grow your skills. And here we bring in the value addition component.
Immaculate Tumuimbise, the chairperson of Mbara City South Women Enterprise Circle and Major Retired Akima Simwi, asked government to obtain certification from URSB and UNBS, which will enable them penetrate international markets, particularly targeting neighboring countries.
One of the reasons why the challenge is market, like for example, we can't put this wine in a supermarket. Why? Because it is not certified by UNBS and it's very expensive for us. So we have a feeling that if government of Uganda can support us by certifying our products by UNBS and URSB, then we shall launch to all supermarkets all over and also have international markets.
In response, Minister Kasolo told the crowd that each circle will receive an additional 20 million shillings as seed capital to boost their businesses. He also handed over a check worth 5.8 billion that will be disbursed to over 270 circles out of the 620 registered.
The President has instructed me to continue supporting Emyooga circles every financial year. And each Emyooga is entitled to 20 million as additional city capital.
However, he cautioned against diversion of the funds from serving its purpose. Emyooga program is a presidential initiative aimed at empowering communities and boosting economic growth through access to affordable credit and business training. Charity Marion Imnat, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Charity. Now, Microfinance Support Center has distributed 8 smart silos storage facility to farmers groups in Chekwe County, Nakapiripiriti district. The storage facilities are aimed at enhancing food security and supporting economic resilience in Karamoja sub-region. Let's hear more in this report.
Farmer groups in Chekwe County in Nakapiripiri district have been given storage facilities to help them in enhancing food security in the sub-region. Nakapiripiri district has fertile soils that support agriculture, mainly crops like sorghum, maize, rice, beans, cowpeas, groundnuts, simsim, sunflower, cassava and sweet potatoes. However, due to storage challenges, farmers have been facing low prices for their harvest, hence food insecurity in the region.
Keep food after harvesting from the garden. We sometimes dredge food on their ground where food will get contaminated, and sometimes our people face things of aflatoxin.
The store. Each and everybody is keeping his own food. In where? In his home, which can be destroyed by the rats.
Once they harvest, because they have no storage facilities, they just sell, and it attracts very low prices, and again they become susceptible to food insecurity.
It's against this backdrop that the Microfinance Support Center, in collaboration with Chekwe County Member of Parliament, partnered and distributed 80 silos to farmers.
They harvest, they sell, and then put back and they put to run to its members. Something which is very good for economic development. And that That's why we are here to hand over these silos to them to improve and increase on their productivity. I believe that these sites are going to create an impact within our community.
To support them with how they can store this food, because as you've heard, we have a lot of food also leaving this region to go and support the other regions, and later our people suffer with hunger. So we are here to support them with these silos such that we can really cause food security in the region.
An initiative which can help them store food for a longer period. This will help them in one, keeping this food for times when they can attract good market values for their grain. Two, it can also help them keep food adequately for up to the next harvest season.
At least 59 groups representing village savings and loan associations with over 1,770 members across Chekwi constituency have benefited from the initiative. Farmers applauded Microfinance Support Center for the initiative.
I would like to thank the government for the initiative. For the initiative it is taken to transform the life.
This program has stepped in to bring the silos, which silos are actually quality enough in storing our commodities.
Brigade Commander of Morita Best UPDF Brigade, Colonel Alan Changugu, asked youth and men to embrace agriculture and desist from acts of criminality.
The man is the protector of a family, is the provider of his family, is the defender of his family. Would you kindly embrace this and grow food?
The provision of silo storage facilities is aimed at enhancing food security by providing safe storage for grains and other food products, reduce post-harvest losses, and enable communities to maintain a stable food supply throughout the year. Mario Nawori and Maureen Iga for UBC.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy Wanawoli.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. if you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth, because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around shaking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
To be a winner, you must have the discipline of a tiger. But when fueled with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! Your car is happy, and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
And in the world of business, dealers in honey and other bee products in West Nile have called upon government to establish a honey processing factory for value addition. They say that the region has capacity to produce in large scale, but is limited by processing facilities for value addition. This was during their meeting with the Minister for Economic Monitoring, Patricia Lukoma.
West Nile region is one of the regions that have surplus products from apiculture, with most of the products sold in raw form and have a small market. During an engagement with the Minister for Economic Monitoring, Patricia Lukoma, farmers involved in apiculture asked government to build a processing facility to aid in value addition.
The main challenge is producing large quantity of it at that of quality. If you are using our local method, you can process only 1 jerrycan the whole day. We have the market, but the challenge is the machines for processing.
Their challenge is to have right equipment to do right job. In terms of knowledge, they are having. Then on top of that, if they have capital that they can make them to now export from Arua to Sweden by themselves.
Machine ni toto vuzuya amawaksi de drisi. Te mate dia I. Mupi pati oba konzepya mwa milioda evo makwa maza leta divine amobia mani waksi danze amadri pie mobivine nyita masini sinde.
The minister was visiting Muni University to monitor development and commercialization for bee products, a project funded by government. The project was collaboration between the government of Uganda through Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovations and the Muni University. We are local bee farmers and sellers. We are trained in value addition and marketing.
We were able to receive up to 220 million for one financial year to undertake innovative research leading to commercializable bee products in the West Nile. As you know, West Nile produces 40% of the honey volumes in Uganda. So it was interest for us to have this project in West Nile. We worked with the 3 districts, Arua, Koboko, and Zombo. There we developed new products like the honey, the beeswax, and the propolis. These are the 3 flagship areas, the products we are improving.
State Minister for Economic Monitoring, Patricia Lukoma, applauded Muni University for training bee farmers.
So we came and found that the money has been put into good use. So many farmers were trained on beekeeping and production. And so many farmers have been organized and put together in groups, because at the beginning they were not doing the branding. But as we have seen today, they are now branding their honey.
She asked them to participate in government projects like GROW and a Paris development model for startup capital.
They are requesting for a value addition facility to help them increase on their production to suit the market. They have the market, but the problem is they don't have value addition to meet the market demands. And we are happy that government of Uganda, through Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, they have a project called GROW project, which is to support this category of women to boost their business. And I think we shall link up with the Ministry of Gender so that they support these women with GROW project funds so that they can purchase their value addition equipment to boost up their production.
Joseph Fonama, UBC News.
Bodies, we use it for power.
Brought to you by download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. Wendy Wanaori.
At Uganda Development Bank, we are committed to empowering communities by supporting projects that unlock excellent economic benefits for Ugandans through job creation, tax contribution, output value, and foreign exchange. We seek partnerships with projects that drive economic development in Uganda.
Vocational education does more of equipping of different skills, ranging from hairdressing, tailoring, catering, and so on. So those are basically the courses that we do, and we do them in different levels. My relationship with UDB came through Yuga Privi. I'm registered with Private Institutions Association. So one time we were invited for a meeting as proprietors of schools, and UDB sold in their idea of offering loans for some of us who are still developing. So Ray happened to be one of those that is not yet fully established. Of course, being a private institution, we didn't have enough structures. So I applied for a loan, and that is how our relationship started. And yeah, so I got the first installment, putting up the preliminaries and the substructure, and the structure is being worked on. I really want to thank UDB so much because the interest is pretty low, and I must say, UDB nafunamu. Thank you so much UDB for supporting vocational education.
Uganda Development Bank, inspiring development.
The Homes and Construction Expo is back. Are you looking for answers to your property and real estate development questions? Come and interact with experts in the industry, including architects, engineers, developers, interior designers, financiers, and more from 30th November to 1st December 2024. The expo will be at the Millennium Park, opposite Philip Omondi Stadium, under the theme Affordable Housing, Innovations and Technology. There will be captivating exhibitions and insightful discussions daily. Entrance is only 10,000 shillings per day. To book a stall, contact 0772 354 940. The Homes and Construction Expo is brought to you by New Vision.
And in sports, the two-day induction workshop for National Council of Sports board members has climaxed at Mistil Hotel in Zambia. The aim of the training was to inculcate a sense of belonging, common values, and a positive mindset amongst the board members and the management of the National Council of Sports.
It's about building the capacity of board members and head and management heads, and it's very important because it equips us with different skills, the different information that we can use to make decisions, because we are the people in the driving seat of the National Council of Sports, and therefore if we have a full vision, it means that even our decisions will be decisions that can take national consequences. For example, we have been looking at our procurement policies, we've been looking at mindset change, and we've been looking at the roles of board members and heads of departments, which means that we shall further streamline, certain issues that is good for national councils.
That's it from us. Thank you so much for choosing us and allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. It has been a great night with you. For now, it's a good night, but UBC TV programming continues. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. This week on UBC.
They used to pick us from school at exactly midday, and if a parent is even late by 10 minutes, we had a cafeteria. You would find when they've taken us to the cafeteria to have chips and chicken or sausage or anything, and the parent had to pay. I grew up being a very naughty and cheeky girl, and most people when they meet me now, they're really surprised that I'm who I am today compared to the person I used to be.
Fazira has a very beautiful story that I believe that you should just sit down, relax, get a cup of coffee and sit on your set there, watch UBC TV, and you'll get inspired by the end of this show.
This isn't good news, but I think it might be cancerous. I'm like, come on, where can